米大リーグドジャースの大谷翔平は日本時間14日、本拠地で行われたジャイアンツ戦に先発登板しました。7回を投げ、今季最多の105球、4安打8奪三振2四球無失点の好投を披露。チームは4対0で勝利し、大谷は今季3勝目を挙げました。防御率は 0.82 となり、ナ・リーグトップに浮上。ドジャース史上でも2番目となる好記録を残しました。この異次元の活躍に、試合後は多くの関係者が大谷を絶賛しました。これらの模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
Well, the boys are due, and if a team is only as good as the next day's starting pitcher, the Dodgers are going to be in awfully good hands for this game tonight because Shohei Ohtani is taking the mound. The only reason he's not a perfect 6-0 is because of a lack of run support. He's 2-2. The ERA is 0.97. The whip is 0.81. Opponents hitting just $160 against him. He's punched out 42 batters and walked only 9 in his 37 innings. And he's gone at least 6 innings in every start this season. He's allowed a total, Adrian, of 4 runs this year. The offense has been slumping. His bat's not going to be in the lineup tonight, so he's probably going to have to do what he's done all year long, and that is put up a lot of zeros against the Giants.
Yeah, no, he's done an incredible job all year long. I mean, he's been dominant. You see by the numbers and stats. The one that jumps out to me is the 42 strikeouts and only 9 walks and 6 starts. That means he is attacking the strike zone. He is trusting his stuff, and he is just executing. We talk about winning is by execution. Shohei has been executing on the mound, and I really feel like he's going to continue to do that today.
I mean, look at those numbers, the ERA, the whip, and you mentioned the strikeouts. He has been dominant, and we said it last couple of weeks. He is the front runner so far for Cy Young. He has been pitching like a Cy Young Award candidate. But again, with Shohei, I love that he is now really a complete pitcher. He's gone to the windup. He shapes his breaking balls in 3 or 4 different ways. He's got a slider, he's got a sweeper, see it right there, a slow curveball, and he'll run that fastball anywhere between 95 to 100 miles an hour, sinks it, runs it, and oh, by the way, if that doesn't kind of thrill you, he's got a devastating splitter. So when he's got all those pitches working, he is fun to watch.
6 shutout innings against the San Francisco Giants when he was up there in the Bay last month. Well, the Dodgers need to get the bats going because in Shohei Ohtani's last 3 pitching starts, they've gotten him exactly 1 run of support. Dodgers haven't won any of those games, and tonight he's going to try to slow down a Giants offense. It's the worst offense in all of baseball coming into this series, but they've put up 15 runs each of the 2 games in this series. Right now, Kirsten Watson is inside the stadium. Let's check in with her. She joins us live for the first time down on the field with more on the Big Show. Hi there, Kirsten.
Hi, John. Well, of course, the conversation going into this one continues to be with Shohei Ohtani and him not hitting while he's on his start date. And, of course, with the plan looking at these next 2 days where he's not going to be in as the DH tomorrow, having really a complete day off. Dave Roberts today, he talked about that decision, also the choice to have Teoscar Hernandez in as the DH today, and what this could mean for Shohei Ohtani, who did find a way to get back on track just a little bit at the plate last night.
I think, start with Shohei and just trying to, allow him to have a couple days to, reset the body, not think about hitting. And I think for me, it's Teo's been playing a lot, plan to play him a few more games in a row, and then just to kind of give him a DH and get Alex Call in the lineup, I think is a good thing. And I like the balance of the lineup. And, at some point here, I'm going to try to get Freddie a day off, and, we'll have that conversation. But I like tonight.
For Shohei, I know today's so much about just focusing on the pitching, but do you think the home run last night has the potential to unlock him or just put him in a position that when he gets back out there as a DH that he can really build off of that?
I do. I do. I don't think that, sitting for 2 days is going to get him off of what he was doing last night. I really don't. He's a very kind of in tune with his body, his mechanics. The goal is to kind of let his body kind of reset. And I do think that the 3 at-bats last night that he took, squaring it up and hitting the homer the other way, is on the right track. So he was pretty excited about that one.
If we look at those at-bats that Shohei Ohtani had last night, one, the ground ball that broke through was a hard contact, and then, of course, that home run that went to left center where Dave Roberts has been adamant that when Shohei is right, that is where the ball is going. It's going to the opposite field, and, of course, it showed power. But ultimately, when you look at Shohei's numbers, especially in these last 10 games, he does only have 3 hits. So with the plan for him to not be hitting today and, of course, being down tomorrow, this has all been in mind with having this be essentially a physical and a mental reset. Dave Roberts did share that the question for him maybe not to be hitting in today's game was still a little bit up in the air before yesterday's game, but afterwards he said that he wants to stick to this plan. He wants to give Shohei some time to recover and reset, but he does expect, just with the results he saw last night, with of course the things that Shohei Ohtani has been working on, whether during batting practice on the field or in the cage underneath, he does believe that it's going to be something that's very sustainable once he gets back out there, back to his true two-way self, and even back as the everyday DH once the series starts in Anaheim, guys.
He has set that bar so high that anytime he doesn't quite reach that bar, everybody goes into a little bit of a panic mode. Kirsten, thank you very much. So Shohei's not going to be hitting today. We all know that he hasn't looked the same at the plate early this season. He's batting .240, the OPS just under 800, 7 homers, 17 RBIs over the last 12 games, hitting a .143. He did hit that home run last night. He's only knocked in 4 runs during those 12 games, though. In each of the last 2 seasons, of course, he's hit 54 home runs at least in each of those last 2 years with an OPS well over 1,000. So he's not hitting today, Jerry. Dave Roberts has already said he's not going to be in the lineup tomorrow either. Yes, he had the good night offensively last night, but now he's going to get a chance to have 2 days off to not really even think about hitting against a big league pitcher and maybe just press that reset button for when he's back in there Friday in Anaheim.
Listen, at some point, we've all been where Shohei's at, not being where or doing what you're capable of doing, and it's good sometimes to take that mental break, press the reset button. But I will say this, I like that he's pressed the reset button after what we saw last night. There's some signs last night, so he can build on that. And then obviously he's pitching tonight, going to do his thing, and then tomorrow has that mental reset. But I love the fact that last night he stayed square, went the other way with some power, and he squared up a couple baseballs. So it's good that he's going to get that mental reset. And we all know, listen, the storm's coming. Storm is coming. He's too great of a player to know that, you know what? As cold as he's been offensively, he's going to get that much red hot. Storm will come.
First of all, Jerry, I am very impressed with the fact that you admitted that you've been in the slump before. So that is the first thing out of everything. Well done. You matured. You matured.
I've grown. You know, over this last couple years, I have grown with the mic in my hand.
I see that. I can see that. Well done. Shohei is, especially after seeing his at-bats yesterday, seeing that home run yesterday, that is where he needs to live. Shohei is a guy that he can hit the home run to all parts of the field, and I have not seen the ball being hit on the line to left field until yesterday. And whatever he needs to do to stay square, let the ball get a little deep, because that's when he catches the off-speed pitch and he hits it out to right field. We know that hitting is about staying square, being on time, and taking what the pitcher gives you. Hit the ball, fastball to the opposite field and hit the off-speed pitches to the pull side. So what he did yesterday was perfect.
Yeah.
Keep doing that, keep working on that, and that slump will be well behind us before we know it. So just continue to do that, Shohei.
Yeah, the last couple weeks we've seen a lot of those soft contact rollovers to first base and second base. Last night was a really good sign for Shohei Ohtani. All right, let's check out a tweet from Codify Baseball after Shohei's start last Tuesday. Shohei Ohtani just became the first pitcher in MLB history to have a span of 9 regular season starts with at least 50 total innings pitched, no more than 4 total earned runs allowed, and no more than 2 wins. Yeah, Shohei's been a tough luck loser in each of his last 2 starts. He lost both of them 2-1. The last time out, though, in Houston, he did give up a couple of solo home runs, Jerry, but other than that, he was really dominant.
He was outstanding in Houston, especially in a hitter-friendly ballpark there. We're going to go down there to the K-Zone and really break down his outing. Once again, you saw the statistics. He has been dominant. And it's okay to give up the home run, especially if it's a solo shot. But I love the stuff. You see the highlighted area? He stays away from that. He's dominant. Great running fastball. Outstanding pitch down in the zone at the knees at 100 miles an hour. He gets ambushed. First pitch of the second inning, yes. They want it away. It runs back to Dodger killer Walker. He goes a little choo-choo train, home run. But once again, gets back in the count. But 0-1, that's a pitch they want in. Leaks middle. Oppo Taco, but that was the only damage. Great sweeper there. Gets Altuve, they chase. It looks like a fastball, and here's a fastball once again at 99. Great running fastball, outstanding location. And that's the theme. When he hits his spots and uses that great movement, he's going to get weak contact and swing and miss. He really made one mistake. I don't think that pitch to that left-handed batter was a mistake. You tip your hat. That Christian Walker, that was a mistake. But all in all, 2 solo shots should never beat you in a big league ball game. He has been outstanding.
He's been incredible. And that second home run, that's only a home run in Houston,
Right,
maybe
exactly.
Fenway.
That's not a mistake.
So that's not a mistake. That was just, the ball ended up in the wrong spot of the field. But at the end of the day, he's been pitching unbelievable, executing, hitting his spots. It's okay to make a mistake here and there, once in a while when you're pitching that great. So he's been incredible. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch him tonight.
I want to ask you about the guy on the mound, Ohtani. This is the third game that he's pitched that he hasn't hit. Now, I know he's struggling at the plate right now, but find it a little odd. You hit every time you pitched in the National League. So I would like to hear your thoughts on him. And Dwayne, if you want to jump in as well, it'd be interesting to hear what you have to think about that.
Well, I think the one thing you have to get used to doing is, your concentration to pitching can be fragmented by an at-bat. If you're hitting and you're pitching, your concentration can take a hit. That may be a reason why. I mean, he doesn't talk about it openly. It may be he's got a little stiffness in his elbow, and he feels it on a swing. So on days he pitches, he doesn't want to aggravate. But he's got a reason, and I think you may start seeing him doing more and more. I didn't believe it when they told me he wasn't going to hit tonight, and they say he's not going to hit tomorrow because I'm thinking, well, he's DHing. He's not in the outfield. But I think that there may be something mechanically that is affecting his pitching, and I think he just doesn't want to do it.
I'm glad. I don't want to see him in the lineup. The other thing, too, is remember, they played a lot of games in postseason. And I'm not saying that he's tired, but I think they really have to be careful with him.
Shohei Ohtani on the mound, as we mentioned in that first block, has a .97 ERA, which is the best in all of the big leagues. So
multitude of guys who can rake despite what has been a slump offensively for this team this season. The notable change, though, Ohtani resting his bat for the third time in 4 starts amid an individual offensive slump. Despite hitting a home run, he was good last night, 2 for 4. Manager Dave Roberts said after the game they're enforcing a rest plan to aid Ohtani's recovery. He said that he believes fatigue is bleeding into his mechanics. So this is not something we've seen in terms of Ohtani not hitting while starting pitching in several years. So a big deal here as the Dodgers offense tries to get something going amidst some struggles here as of late. Who's not been struggling, though, is Ohtani on the mound. That .97 ERA, whoa, just ridiculous stuff. What have you seen from the Dodger ace?
Well, look, he doesn't walk a lot of people, and he throws 100. I mean, he's averaging, 98, 99 a pitch, a four-seamer. He's got a big sweeper that he likes to throw. He's fast to the plate, so they don't steal on him. And as I said, he's got great command. So he's going to come at you, and he's just difficult because he throws so hard, and you can't steal bases. So, look, it's, hopefully they can wear him down. It's going to be hard to string hit after hit after hit. So either they can wear him down, get some walks, make him pitch, get in that bullpen, or they're going to have to take some chances, maybe hit and run, take a chance, steal a base if he gets somebody on base, George. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
This is one of those times where, look, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield, and it seems like the Giants.
The
one thing with Shohei Ohtani that you notice there is his whip, which is walks and hits per innings pitched, is very low. He does not walk guys. And the thing about how good his stuff are is when you're expecting 98 under the hood, 98, 99, it's tough to look for anything else, and he has several different types of movement that he tunnels really well. So you're going to get him if he misses over the middle of the plate and you're ready to hit that fastball. But once he gets deeper into that count and he's able to kind of get to those secondary pitches, unless he makes a mistake, he's really hard to deal with.
So they've doubled their hit total for the night, these last 2 hitters with opposite field hits, Adames and Chapman.
I would expect a visit from Mark Pryor. Give the bullpen a little bit of time. Center fielder Drew Gilbert. Yeah, there drops the score sheet. Here comes the visit. Mark will be out there as long as he can be. He will wait for the umpire, no matter how long this conversation is. They will stand there and wait for the home plate umpire, James Jean, to break it up. And that's what just happened.
And Mark Pryor, who had a short but awesome stretch in the major leagues, probably until the day he dies is going to answer as many questions about what it was like to be the pitching coach for Shohei Ohtani and what it was like to go out there for mound visits, as you will anything about his playing career, no matter how great it was. Any peek behind the curtain of what remains pretty mysterious character. 2 on with 1 out. Strike on Gilbert.
Shohei would love to get a double play ball.
Fly ball, deep center field. Pages back. Pages makes the catch. And boy, they got a base running issue right here. I don't know if Adames just totally misread it, forgot how many outs there were. And it is the double play that he was looking for, just in a much different shape and size.
Mookie, to get the offense going tonight, you and Santiago Espinal went back-to-back home runs off of Robbie Ray. When you saw Santiago's at-bat, it basically was essentially the same pitch that you saw. Was it something you saw in his at-bat, or was something you were looking for to get that home run swing?
No. I'm just looking to get hits to try and help the boys. I mean, we've been going through it. I know I can help, and fortunately I did.
You guys, of course, had the support. Shohei Ohtani, 7 shutout innings. What were you seeing from him, and what was it like just playing behind him today?
I mean, he was, throwing everything for strikes. I mean, not walking guy. I mean, he's Shohei. There's not many words you can really say about him. He's the best.
Yeah, it's been a tough few days for the team. Did it feel like this was a must-win for the group, or did it just feel like you all came together with a different effort for this one?
I don't know if it felt like a must-win, but it felt like we must get something going. We must show ourselves, at least give ourselves a little light. Fortunately, Shohei shut them down on the other side and gave us a little time to build something.
You guys sure did. Congratulations on this win today, Mookie.
Thank you.
Mookie Betts says, I don't know about a must-win. Jerry would probably disagree with that. Certainly a must-win in your mind. But
I think he took a shot at me right there. He took a shot.
Mookie Betts said this is 3rd game back for him. He said maybe 4 or 5 before he truly feels like he's in a rhythm. But he looked really good tonight. Not only had that home run, which was a no-doubter, had another line out. Looked like he was swinging the bat well.
I love the way he's really swinging the bat. It really showed signs last night, his very first night. The biggest thing is, what does he look like in the batter's box? Does he look hitterish? Does he look that he's on time? Boy, was he on time on this pitch. They wanted that fastball outer third. It leaks back middle, and Mookie Betts is all over it. Squares it up, drives it, creates backspin. One more look at it, foot down, fire those hands. Great job, Mookie Betts. And not only that, he's moving great side to side.
Yeah.
On the defensive end, he made a great play in the first inning. Challenging play. Outstanding range as well. So great to have Mookie Betts back.
100%. I mean, that swing right there was so good. Great rhythm, great timing. Everything you need to do when you're hitting, he did it there. Pitcher made a mistake, was trying to go away, leaked middle in. He was ready for it. Great swing. Swing is it's in a really good spot.
Dodgers 4-0 winners over the San Francisco Giants. Let's head back inside because the big show, Shohei Ohtani, is speaking with the media.
Shohei, first just 7 shutout innings tonight. You were efficient. How did you find navigating just through their lineup?
7回効率よく無失点で、打順に対してどういう戦略を？
まずは自分のやるべきことの方を重視しながら、あとは打線の相手の反応を見ながら、ウィルと話して、コーチと話して組み立てていきました。
Yeah, I just did what I know I had to do today, and also just like collaborating with the pitching coach and Will Smith, just reading and reacting with the hitters' swings.
You had your full pitch mix going, but it did seem like you kind of went to the sweeper a little bit more than usual. Is that something that was feel today, or was that part of game plan and how you were reacting to their hitters?
今日はスイーパーが多かったんですけども、何か打者の反応を見てのことですか？
そうですね。張られてる。セットされてる場面でも投げるべき時は投げますし、単純にそのボールのキレがいいか悪いかっていうところもあると思うので、その点では悪くはなかったかなと思います。
The sweeper felt pretty good. Even if the hitter is sitting on it, it's not necessarily something that I don't throw. But overall, just the quality of it was pretty good.
You're 7 starts in and you have an ERA under 1. In what ways do you feel like you're a better pitcher now than you were in other parts of your career?
7登板で防御率1以下で、過去比べて、ピッチングのどういうところがいいんですかと。
投げ心地は今のところいいとは思いますし、今日のランナーたまった場面の最後のフライもそうですけど、抜けるかどうかで、そこは数字はちょっと大きく変わってくるので、あまりまだそこを気にする段階ではないのかなとは思ってます。
The feeling's pretty good. I feel really good with my pitches. But today, the deep fly ball to end the last out of the seventh inning, that could have really swayed the my ERA. So I think there's some luck involved as well.
You sense a little bit of fatigue from you, especially offensively. How do you feel like you've adjusted to the first full season of two-way in 2 years?
今二刀流の本格的な二刀流の1年目、その監督もいろいろ配慮しながらやってるんですけども、どう感じてますか？
今のところ怪我なくはもちろん来てるのはいいことですし、オフェンスの、側で、そこまでチームの助けに今のところなっている場面は少ないので、そこがしっかりと自分の形に、納得できる形に戻ってくれば、よりチームへの貢献ができるんじゃないかなと思ってます。
First and foremost, the fact that I'm not injured, that's a good thing. I do want to contribute more offensively. I haven't done so this year, so I'm looking forward to doing that.
Shohei Ohtani's night, 7 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts. You see the 105 pitches. Adrian, it was just another masterpiece, really, from Ohtani in this game.
It really was. And, I really love the fact that he got to 105 pitches. I'm a big believer in starters going over 100 pitches and seeing 105, 7 full innings there. Just the way he threw the ball today, he threw it so convincing. He would attack the hitters. Got the 8 strikeouts. It was just really, really fun to watch.
It's amazing. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani, tremendous athlete, and he does show a little bit of his personality as a hitter, but I really like to see him as a pitcher because he really lets that personality shine, especially in big moments of the ball game. You see him go out there competing, let's say a strikeout to end the inning. You see him scream, yell, how excited he is. But I love the fact that he loves that he's in complete control. He understands if I make my pitches, hits my spots, I'm going to put up a lot of zeros. Just love the fact that he is right now, no disrespect to Paul Skeens, who's an absolute monster. He had a monster game last time in Pittsburgh. No disrespect to any other pitcher out there. But right now, this kid, the big show on the mound, is the best pitcher on the planet.
I 100% agree. Shohei's been throwing the ball great. 7 starts now, ERA at .82. Everything he's been doing has been incredible, and I love to see it. And then I love to hear the interview where he's like, I got to contribute more offensively because, his mind is on both sides of the ball, so he knows he's throwing the ball great. His mind's on contributing offensively, but on the mound, he's just been lights out all season long.
He certainly has been, and lowers that ERA to 0.82. It's truly incredible what he's done. He's allowed only 4 earned runs all season long, and he's done it over, 43 innings here in 2026.
This is your first season to be able to play behind Shohei as a defender while he's a pitcher. How impressive has it been?
It's very impressive when you watch it from both sides, no matter what. So, what he did today is what everybody else expects. It just great, and he did the job, and it shows, and Shohei's doing Shohei's thing, so.
All right, so a really cool moment for Santiago Espinal, his first home run as a Dodger, and wouldn't you know, we've got the fan who caught Espinal's home run ball. What are you going to show us here?
Right there. Dodgers bleed blue all day long, all the way from Logansport, Indiana. First time here.
Got your first time at Dodger Stadium?
First time at Dodger Stadium, yep.
So, and how long have you been a Dodger fan to have that?
I was 9 years old.
Growing up in Indiana?
Yes, sir. And when I was 15, I told my first wife that my firstborn son will be named Dodger. She said no, and I said the wedding's off. She changed her mind. Her mind. He's 28 years old.
And your son's name is Dodger?
And where's the second wife?
Jerry.
He said his first wife.
I'm on my 4th wife.
Mercy.
One I lost deceased, but I've got the best wife right now. She's the reason I'm here because I told her let's take her trip to Italy and Greece. She said no, we're going to Dodger Stadium.
Now you look like an athlete. Were you an athlete?
I was a baseball player.
There it is right there.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Actually, I have an honest question about Shohei. It drives me nuts to see Shohei off balance a lot and pulling out. What's that about? Egon, you're a lefty.
Oh, we've been breaking it down on our pregame shows every day.
Tell you what, we're going to bring you tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to have you work with Shohei.
You want to do a quick breakdown right now? What do you see?
I've got
I'm kidding.
I've got the VIP pass. I'll be on the field at BP.
You'll be here tomorrow?
Yes.
Santiago Espinal's first home run as a Dodger right there. What's your name?
Brandon Collins. Show the replay.
Congratulations.
I had to shove a kid out of the way to
Well,
catch
don't say that. Don't say that.
You don't
We
want that
don't,
smoke.
we don't push kids here at the Dodgers.
He already got a ball earlier.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for coming on with us. All right.
You guys sign that?
Yeah, we'll sign it.
That was the first of back-to-back home runs. Adrian, we got work to do. You got to break down Mookie Betts' third home run of the season, the back-to-back shots. Let's take a look. Access 360.
Let's go to Access 360 right
I mean, never ask about a guy's second wife or third wife or, never.
You know, we went way too deep on that entire
as soon
conversation.
as he said first wife, I was like, I got to ask about the second wife.
No, you did not have to.
I had to, John.
And then we found out there are 4, and he's got, no, we don't even need to go there.
I love live TV.
That was a great little segment right there. We got a chance to meet the fan who caught Espinal's home run on his first ever game here at Dodger Stadium. Uniqlo Field at Dodger Stadium, no less. A gem. And for visual proof that we did not get punked, here's visual proof of our guest shoving a kid out of the way to grab Santiago Espinal's first home run as a Dodger. What a night. What a show. I don't know if we have a slow-mo of that fan that we had on that crashed our set, but that was textbook box out by this gentleman.
We talk about this is old school versus new school, and this is the difference. It's making sure you find the body, you body somebody up, then go get the rebound. And you know what? Lakers, he may be a free agent. Lakers could use a guy like that, old school bruiser. Do your thing, Lakers.
It was a team win. Obviously, it started with Shohei on the mound and 7 innings and throwing a shutout. Got a little help with that double play at the end of his outing. Yeah, I mean, I thought he was really good tonight. And offensively, I just thought that situationally, we just had a lot of good intent, good at-bats, and certainly to have a couple homers tonight from Espinal and Mookie was helpful.
With Shohei Ohtani, obviously he's been excellent as of late, but what really stood out to you in just this outing today and how he was the stopper, and really set the tone for the team?
I think just he was attacking with the fastball. I thought the fastball was really good, had a lot of life. There were a lot of 99s in there and just dominating the hitters. I thought Arise took some really good at-bats against him. But outside of that, I thought he was pretty dominant tonight.
Is there in your mind a longer leash for him as a starting pitcher when he's not in the lineup? Like, for example, like letting him go out for that 7th inning?
Yeah, I think so. Where he was at, if he was hitting, I would have probably pulled the plug right there. But because he wasn't, knowing he had some extra rest going into this one, he'll probably get some extra rest going to the next one. So it's just kind of part of the math, yeah.
David, you see this season transpire, have you seen Shohei kind of really commit to becoming the best 100?
You see it. We've all seen that transformation, and he wants to be the best pitcher in baseball. And, right now he's doing it. And so you can tell he's hyper-focused on, the preparation part of it. And then, obviously, the days that he starts the execution.
Obviously, last year he looked very good and, just kind of incremental return. But are you seeing anything different outside of just this being like the fresh beginning of the season for
I would say the only thing I see is he's not in build-up mode. I think that he has confidence in all of his pitches, and he feels that, he can get hitters out in different ways, where I think last year he was still trying to get his footing on getting back to pitching on some type of routine schedule. And then you have to layer in on, what you have that day to get a hitter out. And I think now he's got confidence in his fastball, his command, the sweeper, the curveball. And he hasn't even really used his split. Tonight he didn't use it a whole lot. So I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Dave, now that there's a track record of Shohei dominating like this when he's on the lineup, does it make that decision harder to put him back in the lineup?
No, it's always good to have him in the lineup, but I think that, we're doing it for the right reasons. So that's what, regardless of the result, I think we feel good about it because we're doing it, for him to give him the best chance to be the best player he can be. But yeah, it doesn't feel good not writing him in the lineup tomorrow. But that's just the way it is, and we've wrapped our heads around that and feel fine about it.
He said he wants to spend more kind of just dialing in what he felt at the plate yesterday. Like, how do you balance that? How do you try to keep that spark kind of going, especially if it's just one game you're kind of basing it on?
Well, I think that tomorrow, to not have to prepare to play a game, to take 5 at-bats, he can kind of use tomorrow to stroll in a little bit later, make sure his body feels good, and then work through some things mechanically to build on what he found yesterday. So I think that that's helpful. And then, our hope is that, come Friday, then he'll be recovered, and then he'll kind of be able to kind of build off that mechanical part that he found out.
Do you ever think about just the type of pressure that Shohei is under to maintain both at such a high level? Because it seems like anytime one of them falls off a little bit, there are all these questions about whether or not he should give up the two-way.
I know it's interesting because last year there was a lot of conversations that he shouldn't pitch, and just be a hitter, and so now it's kind of flipped on its head. So I think that I can't imagine what goes through his mind, but I do feel clarity on how we're managing him, and there's no one way to go about it. You're just kind of trying to be fluid and react and respond to how he's feeling. But yeah, I mean, it seems like whether he's on the mound, you expect a no-hitter, and then when he's hitting, you expect 2 homers, and so that's kind of his lot in life. It's what he kind of he did to deserve that.
Shohei Ohtani, Jay here, absolutely dominant once again with 8 strikeouts.
I'll tell you what, this is a hot-hitting Giants team in this series. Look where these pitches are. It starts middle of the plate, then darts out of the zone. We talk about slider sweepers. The depth, the break, and the violent movement on this sweeper, outstanding. Devers is an outstanding hitter, but look at the rising fastball, exploding at 98 miles an hour. The movement on fastball is outstanding. One more time, that fastball up in the zone, but for a strike, exploding, blowing Matt Chapman away, a really good fastball hitter, and there's that sweeper again. When he has that fastball command to go along with that sweeper, he doesn't really need another pitch like the splitter. He didn't use the split tonight because he really didn't need to use his split tonight. Outstanding job commanding the fastball. That's the most important pitch to set up that devastating sweeper.
Yeah, you know what beats good hitting? Great pitching. We all know that great pitching beats good hitting, and Shohei today really showed what great pitching is all about. He took a hot-hitting San Francisco team that had scored 15 runs in the last two games, and he just dominated them. Went after them, attacked them, and like you said, I think he only threw a few splits, and the few splits he threw were great splits on top of that. But his sweeper was just nasty. His fastball, great command, the straight one and the one that rises up in the way. Just did an incredible job the whole game. It was a lot of fun to watch.
All good things must come to an end. That includes the Giants' 3-game win streak. The really story of this game was Shohei Ohtani. There's not much else to say here, George.
I mean, I really don't know what else everybody expected. This is what he's been doing. I mean, he lowers his career ERA against the Giants to .32. He lowers his season ERA to now .82. I mean, the guy really might have a goal in his mind, of trying to win a Cy Young after winning 4 unanimous MVPs. But, I mean, look, the stuff was obviously all very, very good. Eight punch-outs in his 7 innings, just over 100 pitches. He walked a couple guys, which – you don't really see him do that often. He gave us a few chances that we weren't able to capitalize on, but the stuff was just really good. And when he got into some of those pitchers' counts and ahead in the count, it was really tough for the Giants hitters to make anything with some of his really good secondary offerings.
Again, Ohtani, too much, and I agree with you. Look, he's been a great hitter. He's not hitting now, right? And people have said he wants to win a Cy Young, so he's trying to stay healthy and pitch. And he's certainly pitching like the best pitcher in the league right now.
Ohtani hasn't hit in 3 of his last 4 starts when it comes to the stuff on the mound. Maybe that's helping him. And to be fair to the Giants offense, .97 ERA coming into this game. So not many batters are getting hits off Shohei Ohtani. And that is What's Hot, presented by Service Champions. Showtime against the Giants. Well, this isn't going to come as a huge shock, but he's been really, really good. When you look at some of the numbers here now, .32 career ERA against the Giants in 28 innings pitched, 33 punch-outs, 8 walks, the .96 whip. It's hard to point to one thing or another because he's just really good all the way around. Tonight, 7 innings, gave up 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 punch-outs. If you can sum it up, or I guess use any other words to describe what he does, George, how would you?
Again, we talked about it in pregame. This guy's fastball sits at 98 miles an hour. That's his average fastball. There were a couple times tonight that 101 popped up on the scoreboard. So when you have to get as a hitter, and I was never a hitter, but when you have to gear up for 100 miles an hour, everything else that has some movement is just very difficult. And you either have to think along or have some sort of way to eliminate a side of the plate or try to figure out what you're going to do in those counts. And he's throwing a sweeper, he's throwing a slider, he's throwing that knuckle curve that he drops in sometimes. He's got a split, he's got a cutter. That's a lot of offerings for you to have in the back of your mind. And that can vary from count to count because he's very comfortable throwing anything in any of those counts. But the one thing that he does incredibly well is he comes at you with his fastball. It's a very good fastball. He locates it very, very well for how hard he throws, and everything kind of just gets established off of that. He'll tunnel all of it. He made a couple mistakes that he got some swings and misses on with some strikeouts today as well. But that just goes to show you how much on edge these hitters can be when they're gearing up for triple digits potentially coming.
Well, George, I've seen you hit before. And you,
I put together some good at-bats.
Yes, you did. And you summed it up perfectly. No, seriously, when you throw that hard, you know, it's hard to be ready for the other pitches. And you saw some of the highlights there. And then he throws that fastball up, and you're gearing up, and it's tough to lay off of a lot of pitches. His sweeper is a big pitch for him as well. He used that very well. He throws it in good spots. You know, he doesn't throw as many balls right down the middle as you would think. I think the combination of his velo and his stuff and his command is exceptional for a guy that throws that hard.
The one award Ohtani hasn't won is the Cy Young. We've talked about how he hasn't been hitting as much lately, and manager Dave Roberts has talked about feeling like whatever he's dealing with offensively could be affecting the mechanics. Does he win the Cy Young this year, though? Whoa. Like, is that in the cards, do you think? Based on what we're seeing, he's got to be in the conversation at this point.
Absolutely. I'd make him the front runner at this point. I mean, I haven't really looked into the rest of the league and what the guys are doing, but there's nobody with better stuff. I know that. And look what he's doing so far. I don't see him tailing off for any reason unless he gets hurt, you know, hitting or on the bases or something like that. What do you think, George?
I mean, I think the guy, we're into mid-May right now, and the guy's got an ERA under 1. He's pitching every 5th day. I mean, he went 105 pitches today in 7 innings, couple walks, only gave up 4 hits, no hits in the 2nd through 5th innings. So, I mean, look, we've been seeing this now for years, and obviously he dealt with that second Tommy John surgery, so he didn't touch the mound for a while, won a couple MVPs in those 2 seasons. But, I mean, look, obviously it's just the middle of May right now, and it's very early to make any kind of predictions like that on who's going to firmly maybe win it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he is well on his way to having a very, very good year. And if he continues anywhere near the pace that he's on right now, it's going to be hard for anybody in the National League to vote for anybody other than Shohei for the Cy Young.
Yeah, Shohei with the best ERA in baseball right now. The favorite, according to Vegas, is Pirates ace Paul Skeens, but not far behind is Showtime, and he's going to continue to be in that conversation as the season moves on.
Well, we saw the beauty of Shohei Ohtani. He doesn't do anything with his bats, his at-bats, because he wasn't allowed to hit, but you always think about him really as a hitter. And secondary-wise, you think about him as a pitcher, but not tonight. And maybe not so much this year because he is dealing right now.
Well, he is. And what was impressive about his outing tonight is when the Giants saw him earlier this year in San Francisco, he was a power guy. I mean, he had a lot of fastballs, really great command of a high-velocity fastball all night long. But tonight, I mean, more of a finesse guy. I mean, he's got 7 different pitches that he can throw, and he was using all of them, a lot of off-speed stuff, especially on strike 1. And the Giants just couldn't figure him out. In 7 innings, he was perfect. Zeros, nothing but.
I'm saying I want the MVP. Great, Cy Young, fantastic, all that good stuff. He wants to do that. But if it's costing me Shohei Ohtani, I don't want this.
Wait, are you saying that if he wins the Cy Young, he won't win the MVP?
I'm saying he's not the MVP player. If you're saying he's concentrating on pitching, which you are, that means 30 days out of the 162 games. I want Shohei for 162. I don't want 30. That's great. He can win a Cy Young, and that's fantastic. But if I'm not getting Shohei Ohtani, if he's going to hit 200,
Wait. See,
I'm sorry.
you didn't complain when he was a 50-50 player and he won the MVP and he was just a DH.
No.
But you're complaining that he has a sub-1 ERA.
Greg, but he DH.
And he's on pace for 27
But how many games did he
home
play in a DH? 162.
Okay.
You're trading in. You're throwing away 132 games in your mindset.
No.
Yes, he's concentrating on 30 games. That's all that matters to me.
Pitching has more of a factor on who wins that day.
I'm sorry.
Than DHing.
For 30 games. No, I'm just saying what you're saying is.
For 30 games, the Dodgers have an advantage to win the game.
I'm sorry. But 30 games ain't enough. You're saying he's solely concentrating on winning the Cy Young so much.
60-40. He's 60-40 leaning towards pitching this year. That is my guesstimate. Psychologically, in his training, he's 60-40 pitching.
So let me ask you this way. He falls short because Paul Skeens wins the Cy Young. Was it a good year, or did he throw away possibility of more? Because he concentrated solely and threw away 2 games a week.
If he finishes in the top 3, he's already done that, I believe, once.
That's not the question.
It's worth it.
Okay.
The fact that we have a human being in the mix to win a Cy Young, and that same human being a couple years ago was baseball's first
I'm not talking about a couple years ago.
50-50 player. He's already won you 2 championships. It's not like this dude.
I'm not done winning titles. I'm sorry, Michael Jordan. Concentrate on defense this year.
No! You're paying Shohei Ohtani. You're making tons of money off Shohei Ohtani already. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest thing baseball's ever had.
Let's take
if
money.
If Shohei wants to go 60-40 win a Cy,
let's take money.
Go do it, Shohei.
Let's take the money and just throw it out.
What are you talking
There's no
about?
money. Doesn't matter. We're talking about the player. I'm saying that if it's giving me less of Shohei Ohtani, I don't want it.
I think it's more Shohei.
I think what this says to me is, if you look at Dave Roberts and what he says, that it's becoming harder for him to go 50-50. Like the expectations of him being an MVP everyday player and a Cy Young candidate type of pitcher, there's a reason that they're giving him a day off. They're trying to protect him from himself.
What if he knew, deep down, if he was a 50-50 energy guy, half on hitting, half on pitching, that he would be a 3.1, 2.85 to 3.1
And I don't think he
ERA.
wants to be that.
Well, not this year. But maybe after he wins the Cy Young this year, he goes back to being just a 40-homer DH and a 3.1 to 3.3 pitcher, ERA. And this year, he really wants to win the 1 Cy Young and say he did it. And I'm okay with it. Shohei can do what he wants. He's so valuable. The other dudes I showed you, if they were off to an average start to the season, the Dodgers would be 8 games ahead of the Padres in first place right now.
I understand 100% what you're saying, and it's a great argument. I get it. Fantastic. I'm just saying the time he really made a great run to Cy Young, he finished runner-up in the MVP. So, do I want the runner-up MVP, or does he want to win an MVP?
Yeah, but Aaron Judge set the single-season American League home run record. That was such a historic season. That was what it took to beat Ohtani.